For the child that does not display any obvious signs of trauma, how should parents be proactive in their care to assist them going forward in leading a healthy life, both mentally and physically?
So we as human beings have 3 ways that we keep ourselves safe. The first way that we keep ourselves safe is by reaching out to people that we love. And we show this, we achieve that by showing emotion. So if I feel sad, the caregivers around me will attune to me and they'll come to me and meet that need. So I learn that when I express emotion, my needs are going to be met. And that's where we want kids to be. The second way is that we begin to become aggressive. And that's basically the body's way of saying, no one's here to help keep me safe, so I'm going to keep myself safe. The third way is if the brain says what's happening in this environment is too hurtful or too intense, is just to shut down. What comes from that oftentimes are children that are over compliant and perfectionistic. And so sometimes it looks as if children are doing okay, but internally they're not doing okay. It's their way of saying, one, for some kids, that if I can control what I do, I have some semblance of control in my life. And 2, if I stay within the lines of what is expected of me, if I can do everything just right, then my chances of being harmed are lessened. And for children, that chance of being harmed, first, the brain doesn't tell the difference between a physical threat and an emotional threat. So no matter what kind of threat, the brain says this might lead to death. So if that child can stay within the lines of perfection and compliance, their brain saying this is going to be the space that protects you from death. So all of that to say, the first piece of that is figuring out, is my child in their shutdown or passive system and feeling like they have to do everything perfectly? Because that can be a very deceitful system. From the outside, it looks like everything's going great for that child. Oftentimes, kids in those systems have like an overly bright affect. Their emotion is overly bright, and you get this smile, and everything's always good. It becomes a concern when a child isn't showing that things are bad sometimes. If everything is always good for that child, oftentimes that means that they're in their shutdown system. Now, if you have a child who, when they have a bad day, cries and shows that they're upset and occasionally becomes aggressive, that tells me that there's a kiddo who knows how to reach out for their support system. They know how to go to their support system. So we have to figure out, is this a child who's shut down, or is this a child who really is who's really in that system where they can reach out for that social support? If they're shut down, we want to create an environment where they feel safe to express. We want to help them create a narrative so that they have words to express what's going on for them. So if they have a bad day at school, and you know they have a bad day at school, saying, I understand that you have a smile right now, but I also understand that today was a bad day. Then it's okay to let me know that today was a bad day. And beginning to give the children the safety to feel and the words to say what they're feeling. Now, on the flip side of that, if you have a child who truly is in their social system and they truly are doing okay, that's going to speak largely as what's going on in the environment. Because if a child is feeling safe in that environment, then they're going to feel safe to express their emotion and to come to their safe base or their safe caregiver. The way that we support kids in that is very similar to the way we would support kids in any system. We want to continue to give them words to express how they feel. We want to continue to attune to them and to know when they are upset. And we want to give them the freedom to have the conversation of what happened. One of the worst things we can do is to sweep it under the rug and pretend like their history of trauma never happened. So we want to give them that freedom and open that conversation in gentle ways.